Good morning, Big Brother fans. It is Thursday, August 20th. Today would be day 15 of the Big Brother house. We have a eviction. I will not say a live eviction because tonight's show is probably going to be recorded early again. My guess is we have a new trend. My guess is also that even next year, if there's a Big Brother, that they will pre-record the eviction shows now that they've started that. The argument right now would be because they don't have a live audience, but you know what? Other than the fact that live head of household competitions might flip the switch to let us see what's going on, it's much easier for them to do a pre-recorded in case anything weird happens. So I'm going to guess they're going to stick with this next year. Maybe not, but I'm going to guess they will, and you'll never remember that I said this a year earlier, so whatever, Mike. I think Nicole is going. Nicole Anthony is probably getting evicted tonight. I don't know if it'll be a majority or if it'll be a unanimous vote or not. Right, as of last night, Nicole Anthony seemed to think that maybe she had a tie vote, but she really doesn't. In her vote counting, she thinks that Christmas is going to vote to keep her, when in reality, Christmas is probably voting to evict her. And once people figure out that it's likely to be an eviction of Nicole, they may all just flip and everybody vote her out. So we'll have to see how that falls out. It's pretty much, they're keeping David as a number, not as a great player or anything. It doesn't matter who goes. In the grand scheme of things, neither Nicole or David are winning this thing. It's just who they decide who they're keeping. They see Nicole Anthony as not as good an asset to the one side of the house. So the one side of the house being Cody, Tyler, Danny, Enzo, Nicole Franzel, maybe Memphis kind of in there too. I mean, it's not a super. I mean, there are fairly solid groups, but it's basically new school versus old school. With Danny being in with the new school kids, even though technically I would call her old school. So yeah, there's also other things that weigh into this. Davon doesn't want to vote out David because he's a person of color, and that is one of her arguments. Although Davon may also have a little slight attraction to David and think he's a cute guy, and there's, we kind of thought, ooh, maybe there's a little flirtiness going on here, so that could be playing a part into it too. But it does stink that Davon, Bailey, and David, as the, and a person of color also means just non-white, basically. So there are other people of color within the house, but let's just focus on Davon, Bailey, David. Kevin doesn't seem to be as concerned about that. Actually, I don't know if David is either. It's Davon and Bailey they're talking about wanting to see. Well, David has talked about wanting a black male to get into jury. I don't know. It's a huge can of worms. On the one hand, you don't want to see voting shaped around it to ensure that someone stays if they aren't playing at least a bit of a game. The other hand, there's the question of are they handicapped in their ability to play a decent game because they are a person of color? Is there a natural assumption that you would rather work with someone that looks like you than someone who doesn't look like you? And this is a deep, heavy stuff that I really don't like to get into too much. But there is that. It really stinks that there's that predisposition in some people, intentional or unintentional, and it's usually unintentional. I don't think that Cody, and I'm not throwing Cody under the bus, but I don't think that anyone that doesn't seem to be actively working or is working against those people is doing it because of the color of their skin. They're not doing that actively in their mind. That's not the reason they're doing it. But there is just a natural tendency to want to work with someone who's a little bit more like you, even in the visual scale. That's that systemic thing that comes in that you talk about. It's just kind of a built-in thing that you almost don't have any control over, and you have to actively work against. All right, enough of that. Let's move on. At this point, it looks like Nicole is going. This person is just not going to pass me. They're going to go barely fast enough, so they're going to creep up on me. Sorry, annoying driving things. Nicole's going to go. If Kaser or Janelle don't win head of household, it's very possible that one of them is going next. The house guests seem to think that the competition is going to be a knockout thing where, two people go against each other. You pick people to go against. It works well for a decent-sized alliance where everybody just keeps picking on the people that they don't want to win it until those people lose it. So the people that are desperate to win have to win multiple times in order to win. And they're thinking that's what it might be. So a large group has talked about, well, we're just going to keep picking Janelle and Kaser until they're both out. We really don't care who wins as long as it's not them. Not sure that's what the competition will be, but possible. It is going to be some kind of a physical skill competition. I say skill with air quotes, meaning somewhat of a crapshoot, but there might be a little bit of skill involved. Could be a ball rolling, could be a toss, could be a throw, could be something that could be the highest number kind of a thing. But the fact that they think it's a knockout thing makes me think that it's not going to be a highest number, that it's going to be a side-by-side thing. I'm not sure. They got to practice it, which usually involves some kind of a throwing or tossing or rolling or whatever. So, we wait and see. We wait and see who wins out of household, because that will determine the next week. And if it's not Kaser or Janelle, then it's very likely that one of them goes. They don't have safety suite anymore, and they don't have loyalty within the house. They worked so hard this week to try to keep Nicole Anthony safe, and she finally kind of got an inkling that maybe that was the case, and she says she's going to feel awful if she gets out of the house and finds out that they were trying to save her. Well, Nicole, Anthony, prepare to feel awful, because they did. For their own, they're fighting an uphill battle. They haven't made it easy on themselves. Janelle's got a laser focus on Nicole at this point. Nicole has a laser focus on Janelle as well. Oh, they did talk last night too, by the way. I don't know if it solved anything. And as Scott pointed out, so this year the have-nots are selecting the next have-nots. So if you're a have-not this week, you get to pick the person that's a have-not after you. Which, I don't know if you can't pick someone else who's already done it. So I don't know if you can actually, if someone who's just finished being a have-not with someone else can say, oh, by the way, you're going to be a have-not again. That may be a rule that you can't, that I'm just not sure. It probably is a rule that you can't pick the same person, so it keeps people from getting it multiple weeks in a row. But at the same time, it also forces you to possibly make an enemy. And there's all kinds of thought that Nicole Franzel, who is currently a have-not, is going to pick Janelle. Janelle's pretty sure that she's going to pick her. Some people want Nicole to pick Janelle just to stir things up. I think Janelle doesn't want to give Nicole the opportunity to pick her, assumes it's going to happen, so wants someone else to pick her, just not to give Nicole the satisfaction. I don't know. All kinds of games going on. I'm still not a fan of the have-nots. Not a fan, not a fan, not a fan. That's me. But it's going to be around. So, that'll be the drama at some point. I'm guessing. They assume that the picking is going to happen. It's possible that it's going to be the first 4 people eliminated from tonight's, competition might be the have-nots. It's hard telling. But that's what's up. It is so long, Nicole Anthony. And David, you've lived to fight another day, but you're not winning many fans outside of the house for your gameplay, that's for sure. The question is, will he think that he's actually has a shot because he didn't get voted out? I don't know. I mean, this could, assuming he doesn't get put up again, this could get him quite a ways into the game, just because he may be a pawn going forward. I don't think if Kaser and Janelle win that he'll have anything to worry about. I think it'll be other bigger targets. All right, I'm done. I hope you all have a good Thursday. Tonight's show, I'll be watching it, maybe, probably, hopefully. We'll see. Real life has been keeping me with a very low profile right now. I apologize for not keeping people as up to date as I usually do, but yeah. Everything's okay, but yeah, real life is just you couldn't have picked well, I know it could be worse, and I don't mean that. This isn't making it sound worse than it is. Now I can't edit this stuff. So I'm fine. Everything's okay, but for me, this is the worst time of the year with my real life job to try to follow Big Brother on a regular, all the time, kind of self-absorbed way that I do during the summer. And then you throw on top of that issues because of the pandemic that make, just general stuff hard to do. And then just other stuff that I'm having to take care of for family and stuff. It just all adds up to, it's been an interesting season so far, 15 days. And I don't know if it's going to, I think it'll get a little bit better here. It'll definitely get better in a couple of weeks for parts of that, because parts of that will lighten up, hopefully. But other parts, we'll see. All right, I'm done rambling. Thank everyone for their support. I know that Scott and Colette said that the Big Brother Gossip Show has picked up a few more patrons. So if any of you are new patrons to the Big Brother Gossip Show, I thank you very much. I haven't looked to see who's signing up, and of course I don't know who listens to this, but thank you. And anyone, again, who's interested in supporting my CarCasts or my Periscopes, which I definitely need to do a Periscope maybe today because I haven't for a few days. You can also become a patron of my CarCasts and stuff. If you go to patreon.com, and if you search for Big Brother Gossip, you should find both of them, I would think. But the Big Brother Gossip Show is the Big Brother Gossip banner as it is, and it's just Big Brother Gossip would be patreon.com/Big Brother Gossip. And my personal Patreon is patreon.com/BB Gossip, BBGOSSIP. All right, that's enough plugging there. I have no Sequester news. I am really on a mental break from Sequester. So anybody who watches Sequester or that I've played Sequester with or is a fan of Sequester and all that, I think it's going well. I am definitely communicating with my fellow Sequester players that I'm in private chats with and reading what's being said, but I am not following the community, other than I think I know who got voted out third last night, because I'm in a I know who gets dragged now that I have been a victim of the third place drag. I now know everybody that gets dragged third place, because it's like a little collective group of people that all know who's the person who just didn't quite get there, maybe out of bitterness or maybe out of just, you're the only one I can pull. So, all right, there's my big Sequester talk for the day. You guys have a good Thursday. And hopefully we have an exciting, interesting night. I want Janelle or Kaser to win head of household, just so we can have so it's just not a steamroller kind of a potential of a season. I don't think it'll be a steamroller season, but for right now, Janelle and Kaser are on almost everybody's radar as being the easy targets. And actually, yeah, other people will be as well. If they don't get a couple of people out to try to even the score, it could easily turn into a very lopsided season for a good chunk of the season until half the house or more is eliminated. All right, now I'm done talking. Goodbye. Take care.